Woohoo! So, hey, I'm back. It's 2014. I've been on probably one of my longer hiatuses from my blog. And all for good reason. I've got a lot of things to discuss with you. One thing is like you can assure that I am not here for hits, for... I'd even thought about like stopping to monetize my videos. I'm just really on this labor of love with my own existence and with connecting with people. I live a very reclusive life. Central things in my life are music, health food, and sort of magic spirituality, or spirituality slash magic, and that all comes under the heading of magic as far as I'm concerned. So my blog has become really somewhat focused on the sort of what I call the other 3/4 of life. The mental, emotional, and spiritual, not in any particular order, with the exception of the knowing that this life we live is 2 strides in the marathon that's life. I've had a lot of people contact me on Facebook, just kind of feeling down and out about the state of the world. I personally think it's the greatest time ever to be alive. I know that's a little hard to get, but we're going through some major changes with technology, with overpopulation, with being faced with a lot of social situations and continuing social problems, not the least of which is slavery, human slavery still, racism and homophobia, just kind of an ugly thing of just not loving other people, and that's really what it's all about. So I stopped my blog on December 5th because I was planning on continuing, but I would just had this idea. Did I say this already? We enter this life alone, and we leave alone. And there needs to be a part in the middle where we do work alone. And that's the getting into ourselves and of reprogramming ourselves, understanding ourselves. I mean, we all chose this situation that we're in. We dove through that little dimension door that put us in this situation that we're in to learn something. Now, mind you, we might have hit a fork in the road somewhere where things got kind of fucked up, or, in my case, I'd like to think that they're getting back online. I've been doing a lot of psychic healings. I'm a very, very, very different person now. Radically different. Any time in my life previous for me to have been doing a meditation, other than a meditation with somebody, with a healer, or in a group, for me on my own to have done a meditation for 10 minutes or longer was quite an accomplishment, and especially to have done it without distraction. Well, so I was seeing Anthony, the Archangel Healer in Orange County. That broke through some major doors. And then in September 1, I started in an influence with a dude that I was dating, who I wound up, whatever, it was just a weird, interesting, fun, but turned out to be a fucked up relationship because of some really screwy, bad, hateful, self-loathing stuff that was going on from his point of view, but then as well from my own stuff of just waking up to some of my own things. And so throughout the end of 2013, I worked with Anthony, the Archangel Healer, and then I met a friend of mine who I won't go into detail at this time, but when I met her in 2008, I was the master and she was the student. And she had told me that she had the gift, clairvoyance, and in 2013 she decided that she was going to do that for a living, and as soon as she did that, all the spirits downloaded into her head. And let me tell you, I've been around some pretty high-profile psychics in my life. Not a steady diet of them until the last year or two. So, anyways, I did 2 past life regressions with her, and I'm going to tell you, I'm going to start a thing on this channel where through this, like when I point and there's this link thing, I'm going to start like a kind of Keith off-world of where I tell you a bunch of my sort of, let's just say it's stuff that I don't want directly available on YouTube. I only want it available to people that are into my blogs and into my trip and are into self-learning and becoming more, and not just being a programmed machine with half knowledge and broken programs. So that's pretty much, in my opinion, this is still always going to be about raw food. The basis of my life will always be about raw food, electronic music, being an artist, the expression of creativity, and making the most of your life. And that, if you're approaching it and you're thinking that it's only food, you're missing the boat. And so in this I'm going to get into, I've returned to practicing magic. I do everything kind of in this, you know, I'm not really familiar with a lot of the ancient traditions of Europe, but I can tell you that in the Americas where I live, which is, you know, North America, Central America, and South America, there is this hardcore way of practicing earth religion with a mystical Christianity or Catholicism or whatever. I've actually never had a problem with Jesus. I'm totally okay with that. I've always don't like fundamentalist Christian thinking strictly because it's fundamental. 1 + 1 is 2, 2 + 2 is 4, A, B, C, D, E, F, C, Mark, run, C, Janet, masturbate. Edit. Anyways. So, I'm practicing a lot of like basic sort of Wicca and sigils and things like that, as you've seen me do, but I'm sort of reinventing it as an artist, because a big part of what is wrong with all the things that I like, health food, music, spirituality, is this archetype, the number 5 in the major arcana of the tarot deck, which is the negative attributes of the Hierophant. And that is a tendency to lie in the ritualistic and dogmatic ancient principles of what's been done. You see, we are on the cutting edge. Like, this is interesting to me with fundamental Christianity, because a lot of fundamentalist Christians, we have a lot of mystical, interesting things happening now, and they have no problem with reading about them in the Bible. But you see, the thing is that this time that we're living in right now is biblical. And so we need to be moving forward and reinventing things and thinking with our heart and learning not to judge. That's a big thing that's gone away with me with the healings that I've done. So I'm not judgmental anymore. And if I am, it makes me feel bad, and I work very hard on doing it. Now, that being said, it is very important for me to be, as a long-time raw vegan, and as somebody that is not following this pre-programmed feedback loop of half-truths that a lot of the raw food fake gurus keep regurgitating. you know. And that being said, I do have to tell you, I'm more than ever, I'm on the vegan agenda. With my health food thinking, the way that I eat, or just the principles that I apply to that, the vegan is the front line thing for me. So that's interesting. So anyways, a few other things I've been doing. This is just kind of like where I've been. I started sun gazing about 4 or 5 days ago. So looking at the time now, it's getting close to time. And I think we'll cut this one kind of a little short from my usual stuff. Look in the drop-down box. I have was going to release a free digital mini album every Sabbat and Esbat, the 9 pagan holidays that occur, or 8 pagan holidays that occur. And I got a little bit overwhelmed with my spiritual stuff, and I still may try to catch up on that. I have one free digital album out there. I encourage you to download it and check it out. That's called More Songs About Refracted Light. Pretty good one there. It's got a little bit of a winter theme going on there. It came out winter solstice, and I have a new one coming out here. I'm kind of working on getting a few more like organic layers going down, and as well as myself starting to sing again. When I put out physical releases, I work with a bigger band. Some of these digital releases are me solo. So yeah, that's where I'm at, and don't know what else to say right now. Gonna have a lot of recipe videos coming up because I've been studying a lot of ethnic food, particularly Southeast Asian stuff, working with a lot of stuff. Everything I'm doing is old school raw, strict old school raw. I'm going to really be trying to redefine what is doing raw vegan right. You know, so many people, like kind of 30-something people, going to being omnivore or whatever. And I guess that's okay. I think it's okay to like experiment, and hopefully we'll see a lot of people returning to that when we realize that animals are people too, and that a lot of the health food thinking that's going on that you see on YouTube is selfish. And we don't need selfish people on this planet. Again, I said I think I kind of detoured or took a digression from my conversation. I said I'm not judgmental anymore, and while that's true, I am going to continue to maintain being a critic with some of the fools that are on YouTube. I've been doing this for quite some time, and I'm simply not trying to act like, oh, I know my shit. I'm trying to, as somebody who's been doing it pretty much longer than anybody, and definitely does not have this sort of anal, I'm so dressed in white, I'm so like pure, I'm so cool, they don't even think they're cool, they're just too uptight for their good or for anybody's good. In the spirit world, they have a lot of fun, and I don't really see that raw food people have a lot of fun, and I said this was going to be a short video, and it's not. So anyways, yeah, go ahead and download my new free digital album, More Songs About Refracted Light, and there's a new one coming up called The Wishing Machine. This is Keith. I'm back on YouTube, coming up on my 5-year anniversary of my first upload onto YouTube, and I want to say I'm glad to be back, and I'm looking forward to interfacing with all of you, okay? Alright, bright blessings.